Boom. Welcome, YouTube pipe smokers. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Mabu and I had to finish our epic game of Uno, which she ended up beating me twice, but I beat her once. And now we're ready to kind of wind down the evening with things like this. So hope you're having a wonderful day or night or whatever it is for you. There, just making sure that I'm not missing anything. I haven't checked my emails for a bit. All right, welcome in. Tonight, I'm going to smoke a cigar. I've got some cool features figured out on this now. So wait for the bull call. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. But I'm going to get this cigar going. All right, so I am going to try an Alec Bradley Prensado. Sounds good. Cloud Bear, how you doing, buddy? Oh, if I have your permission, at some point I can use like an Instagram picture, so one that you've already been comfortable with putting up, and I can put it up when you show up. So, you know, if somebody says something like Captain Black Grape, you go, oh my gosh. Welcome, bud. I am going to smoke an Alec Bradley Prensado from Hillbilly Piper. And I do have the little fancy tool right here. The Doggo 84, welcome. Hope you're having a good one. Just like that, and I still have my fingers. That's a plus. I'm sketchy. Welcome to the live. I hope you're having a good one. Oh, awesome. Welcome, Joel. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Patrick, welcome in, brother. Cool, man. Dark Lord, welcome in. Ah, man. What a good group. The more the merrier. So far, so good. This is an Alec Bradley Prensado, and actually it's really tasty. Oh, let's see. Who do I have on here? I decided to take some pictures, you know, for example, I imagine that Phil would be something like this when he's by himself. But who can say? We gotta get the laughing dog. Isn't that nice? I spent way too much time messing with these things. Some of these are. Oh, is it doing this backward? Okay, nope, it's going right. Usually I had it scroll down in the past, and apparently it's different now. They did an update, and I hadn't used Restream forever, which Restream is really awesome. Has lots of great features. This is not a paid promotion, but I do really like Restream. You can use it from your browser. It's really, really easy. And you can do cool things that look like editing tricks, like you did a premiere of a live, but you can do it while you're live. So it's really nice. And if you, oh, I didn't mean to click it. Oh, there's Boris. Fat fingers. I do have some people on here, so if they join, I can, but I didn't get to look up everybody. You're going to love the bull call symbol. I promise. I'll give it about 10 minutes. We'll get some more people in. Sometimes notifications take a little bit of time, so we'll allow people the opportunity. Man, I hope you guys have had a good day. I've had a really good day. I woke up in a reasonable time. I actually woke up pretty early. It was about 7, but I wasn't like, I'm awake, I'm ready for the day. So it took me a good couple hours to kind of get where everything was perfect, and saw my dad today. And man, I was working on pipe after pipe, and it was like, oh, I'm still ahead of my goal time. So it was really cool. So I have a new commission as of the night before last. I started it today. Really excited about it. Started on that. The block is impeccable. True, Patrick. It's called Restream.io, and you can actually just Google Restream.io. You create you can do it for free. There's a free version, and there are a few different payable options, but compared to what most of them cost, it's very cost effective and gives you tons of options if you do end up paying for it. There's this subscription option lengths, but you can do it for free, and you can even host people. Now, with the operating system of my laptop, which isn't very much, we can do, so I can send one of you guys an invite and you can hop in. You can do up to like 3 other people or more. I've had up to me and 3 others, and then my computer processing just couldn't handle it. But 1 other is fine. It doesn't seem to make much lag, and this was an El Cheapo Grande laptop that was on a sale. It's a good one. Doesn't have a ton of processing power, but I didn't get it for that. I wanted something that wasn't an old, outdated little tablet. Thank you, Patrick. I am. I feel good. Feel awake, which is nice. And Mabu's been ornery. She was beating me at Uno, but I beat her once. So I take what I can get. Our Uno games, we get intense. We do like basic Uno with like double decks. And our games will go sometimes 2 or 3 minutes to like 5 hours, a single game. So it's pretty great. This is one of my absolute favorite cigars. I've had a lot of favorites from folks in the YTPC, but this Prensado is wonderful. Not a harsh smoke, get in the eyes or anything like that. But for example, let's see. Well, if anybody does decide they want to join in, feel free to let me know. It's fine. But I think you get it in an email kind of thing. I don't remember. It should be email. And then you just go, oh, there it is. So it's pretty cool. And I can even, you can do overlay, logo, brand. If I can have my logo be, and that's an actual watermelon I was eating the other month. Or I can have it be me. Several different screen layouts. What I really love is I can see myself on the left past the screen and whoever's in the group that's going to be on the screen. RD! And then chat separately. It's wonderful. RD is here. That is the logo button. Hold on. Let me scroll down. You can put in video clips and upload them. You can upload the overlay, the background. They have a lot of new added backgrounds and lots of just generic backgrounds. I should take down the me because I'm in the way. There we go. Pirate's Cake. Yeah. Oh, hey, you guys are gonna like this. This is my one of my favorite ones. All right, let's do a bowl call. Bowl call, everybody. Bowl call. What are you smoking and what are you smoking it in? I am smoking an Alec Bradley Prensado from Hillbilly Piper. It's really delicious. It's one of my favorites. Amsterdam Shag being rolled. I do need to do that. Horatio sent me some rolling papers. I need to do that. Pirate's Cake and drinking some Busch Light. Beer sounds good. And then on the right, I can click chat, captions, or graphics. So I'm going to click chat because it goes the opposite way. So I can scroll and do that over there without messing with the main chat, which is pretty cool. So I had missed. Aha. Oh, you're on sales calls. Gotcha. Ooh, headed home. Very good. From 2 years ago. Do have half-smoked cigar. Oh, man. I did save one. I'm usually fairly good. I actually do smoke about a quarter of the ones I leave. Or I grind them up, like, not grind them, but, break them up. Like I've got this from a couple days ago. And I left a fair amount. And I'll twist it up because it's perfect now. And put it in a blend and call it good. Yeah, be safe. Let's see. Have a Chacon pipe that has a tape bowl with a white stem. White stem. Tapered bowl, I believe you mean. With the white. We have one Chacon, and it's just a dreadful smoker. And it breaks my heart. And I'm not picking on Chacon, but I got that pipe for Mabu, and we were let down by that particular pipe. I don't know what the issue was. But this one, oh, okay, 1970. I was going to say, well, this one anyway was fairly new. This is wonderful. Usually cigar smoke, well, sometimes will get in my eyes and just want to stay there. And this one doesn't do that as much. And I might just be lucky. I'm going to invite somebody. Let him know I'm on because I don't think he knows. There we go. My dad's been looking at old trucks and tractors because he could actually get to where he wanted to go thanks to one road that a good old boy cleared. But they did get to where we could see them. So our road should be cleared tomorrow. I'm hoping that within a couple days after Christmas, my backup is like the 3rd or 4th to mail things out. But our goal is shortly after Christmas. I don't know. It might just be right after New Year's that we'll mail. We'll just kind of see how things are. We know the people closely at a couple of post offices near here, and they're very good about telling us, hey, I wouldn't send it right now. There's too much going on. Or we're short-staffed, or this person's running and they aren't as good. So they look after us a bit, and I really want to be careful because that was a lot of work on those pipes and other packages, and I want them to make it. I'm not as worried about some of them, but I don't know if he's up for it. I just let Hunter and a couple people know that I'm live. Because I know notifications are so screwed up. They might show up a half hour in. They might not show up at all. It's really silly and ridiculous. But I was pleased. I got to work on a few commissions today and started a couple of pipes that will be available soon. As one is freaking gorgeous. I took like an hour and 20 minutes to think out the ideas. There's going to be smoothness and contour and different textures and grooves and plateau and a unique shape that I have not seen before, but semi-familiar. Got that familiar feel to it, even though it's a new idea on an existing semi-Dublin shape. I'm hoping to have that to the point where I'm at the last couple sandings within the next 2 days. I'm getting really close on Dingus's pipe. Smarty Bob, how are you doing, brother? Did I get a picture? I don't think I did. but it's Smarty Bob. Forgive the hair. Don't know what's going on. I tried combing it this way and combing it that way, and then it was like, so I gave up. Good to see you, Smarty Bob. And I did get your message. I think I emailed you back, but I do tend to type in an email response. And then I think it sends, and I go back to what I'm doing. I find out it says draft. I'm like, what? I thought I sent that. One of them might have panels. I'm debating. I think I could. It's one that you could keep them and it'd look really nice, or you could just do it right, barely get rid of them, and it'd be very nice. So I'm on the fence. Oh, very good. I did remember that pipe. I love that pipe. But the one with, there's, let's see. The Dublin one is going to have a totally really nice new look. It's going to be a little bit more of a piece of art. Oh, let me get you a picture. Like I said, I stopped because I had to make dinner. But I can get you one. Hang on, buddy. I can do it. It won't even take that long. It takes just a couple minutes, but it's not bad. Let's see. Patrick. Just kidding. That's not yours, Patrick. What is going on with that? That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Oh, I think I can. Let's see. Oh, I would have to. I'd have to log into Facebook, and I don't really use Facebook, so I just have to get where I get a picture. Captain Black Grape. No, but I do have Latakia Dave. I have a couple of gorgeous Latakia Dave ones. This is Latakia Dave caught in the action. I took a picture and he gave me a look like, wait, you're taking the picture now? Oh, no, not on the pickaxe. I didn't do a panel. The Dublin one is going to be incredible. It'll have some similarities to the volcano that I did recently, but brand new. Hillbilly! Everybody, it's Hillbilly Piper. Welcome in, brother. Hillbilly Piper. Hillbilly, what's your boy called, brother? My pleasure. We have Jeff. How you doing, Jeff? Hey, Hillbilly, I am smoking the Alec Bradley Prensado. Whoa, Black Betty, ram-a-lam. Bookshop in a Cobb. Oh yeah. we got to keep it lively. Oh man, we get more people and I can find more. Let's see. I know I got a couple more in here. Let's see. And I only pick. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Aha, Patrick. I found what I was looking for, buddy. Let's get Patrick with looking relaxed. There's a lovely pipe, Patrick. Let me just move my screen out of the way. All right. So now, this is so crazy. I love being able to do this. I mean, I got some other ones I forgot about, guys. This is one of the best cigars I've ever had, and I know you hear that a lot. From I know you hear that a lot from the cigars you've given me. And I do have another one, a hillbilly here. That's what Mabu threatens to do with my beard. Okay, it's getting serious. But this is the Prensado, and it is delicious. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. All right, we got to focus here just for 3 seconds because it is very easy and does not take a lot of focus. Thank goodness. I'm going to send 3 over. And then I'm going to find RDs if I can. But I'm getting one for you, Patrick, right now. How's the cat doing? Good, because it ran away a little bit ago. Yeah. You guys are going to love this. Yeah, I'm bringing yours over, along with 2 others that I had there. Oh, man, I have totally thought about it, Cloud Bear. I totally have, and I thought, let me get a little more work in on the pipes and get to the point where I'm ready to dive into a whole nother world. This is what everybody looks like when they find out that, like, they found a tin of non-scalped esoterica, and they're like, I got it. Yeah, forget you saw that. I had to keep the embarrassing one. All right, and Patrick's is coming over right now, and then I can move it over. It should keep this live up. So we'll see. I'm going to click the button. It should let me be right back. If you guys can hear me, just put in the text that you can hear me. Let's get a Patrick's. Oh, Patrick, I picked a good one, buddy. All right. I hope you guys can still hear me. Everybody still hear me? Oh, perfect. It still works while I'm at the next. I just have a second window up. Oh, I did prepare in advance. I prepared as fast as I could. I was just goofing around. Yeah, I put down a bunch of. I got like 20 pictures. All right, let's get a Patrick Grant here, everybody. Patrick Grant, one of the classiest pipe smokers of his time. I got a couple more here that are gonna make your day. I do have Paul, Phil, Boris, Donnie, my cat, some dogs, a watermelon, a prairie dog, and a rooster. Beautiful, beautiful pipe. That's awesome. You guys can hear and see me despite when I was on a different window. That's fantastic. When you guys said you could hear me, I was like, it's too fun. Oh, it's too fun. Oh, my goodness. I do plan on getting some picture from everybody. I just want to make sure they're, I don't want to get a snapshot of somebody with the mask on or not feeling good or something and then put it up. That's not fair. Hey, I know some of you didn't see. Donnie, I feel like this is Phil in his off time when nobody's behind the camera. I think without that beard, oh goodness. Oh. Yeah, we got to have all sorts of weather. We got to have all sorts of sunshine and different. Oh, you guys are giving me ideas. Yeah, that's how I was. See? Hi. You got a picture, RD? I don't think I'm subbed to you. If you're on Instagram, I must have not found it or something. Yeah, he does. I saw that picture and I was like, geez. Phil is just, if that's what he looks like without the makeup, he needs to leave the makeup off. Goodness. What he isn't living right. Oh, okay, RD, no problem. You guys ever feel like you go to when you're going to order tobacco and you click on a site and you really are hoping they have a sale and you're like, please, please have a good sale, please? That's how I feel. Pipes and Cigars had another sale on certain things, 70% off. They still did have some Peter Stokeby on sale. There's Latakia Dave hiding. I didn't know how well the picture was going to show up, so I didn't put the other one. He was like tucked back in the dark. This is under a shelf. You can see the very edge of the shelf. He's hiding on the hand towels in the bathroom. Amazing picture. I saw that. I'm like, man, especially up close, it feels like you're looking at a cover of like National Geographic. The way you can see his eyes, it's just amazing. Maybe, Smarty Bob, maybe. I was just trying to look up, I thought I'll look up cartoon stuff. And I thought, oh man, the eyes, the Puss in Boots eyes, you can't beat that. So I had to do that. And then, of course, Latakia Dave, my good buddy, some days. I will show you guys a killer sunset or sunrise. Sunrise. We had the other day, despite the dreadful weather. Despite the dreadful weather, we had a beautiful sunset. Welcome back, RD. Don't believe what you're reading, RD. Smarty Bob is under the influence. I don't know of what. Say what? I'm gonna see if I hope it. I don't think it freezes the screen. I'm gonna try to pop over. See if I can bring a couple more of these. If you guys, I can't believe you guys can see me. That's awesome. I have a sunset that is just, or sunrise that is to die for. I love that it shows. That's so cool. Oh, Grossmore. Very nice. And I appreciate your offer because I would sure love to try it and to make a match for it. Smarty Bob, this is called Restream. Let me put it up here because I can change the captions while they're being shown. Let's see if it'll show it. That's what I'm using. You just go into Google and type in restream.io and you can do a thing to sign right in and you just do it from Google. You just open it up, type in restream.io, log in, and it keeps your settings from your live, and you can go in like you're going to start the live and you can preview your camera, what it all looks like without ever going live. You can mute or turn off and on the camera, set up things how you want, like I've used it before. It's been some months because it did an update and then I needed to change some things and forgot what I was doing. Then I didn't have the password with me. And I'm just like, I really should use that because I loved it. But it's very user friendly. If I can use it after forgetting a lot of stuff. No, it is one of the cheaper ones. They do have several options. The free version gives you a lot of options. A lot of options. I think it's like 15 or 20 a month option. And then there are some other options, but from all the streaming stuff I've looked at, and this one you can actually have guests in the live with it, and you don't have to install a whole bunch of junk or mess with cameras too much, but I can send an email invite to anybody on here and have them co-host and choose from 7 different items or 8 now because of the update of how I want the screen to show. But it's very, very good. Here's the sunrise, dang it, from our front yard. And that's why we live here despite weird cold spells. But it is so simple to use, which I've heard about many things, but this is truly, truly good. Even the free is truly very good. I wanted more editing options, but there are still plenty in the free version. And I believe it works from your phone. I don't remember. I'll have to double check. But this is the best part. I can show off new available pipes in real time to everybody without having to move to better lighting and hold it up. That is my Abu system drilled amber large umpal, and it is available. Feel free to message if you're interested. It's very reasonable, and it's going to smoke like a cucumber, which means cool. And you can change the background colors. They give you plenty. I think you can do your own if you choose. I just haven't. I like the blue. Another good background. I really like this warm orange. If either of them bothers anybody, just please tell me. I will change them. They do have some live ones you can do, but I don't bother with those. Those are my two favorite backgrounds that are still. They're warm or cool. Feels nice. You can even put video clips in. So you don't have to set up a time and try to time it all. You can just go, okay, now's a good time to show a clip of this. Is double up? Is that a good thing, Donnie? I just don't know. I haven't played. But they've done updates to it. It's very good. For me, the closest I've seen to being able to do about this much is like 50 to 60 bucks a month on other places, if I could compare them. So I feel like this one is very, very extraordinary with what you can do with it. I don't spend a lot of time editing. I love editing. Some programs I'm good with. Most of the new ones I'm not. And I don't, if I have focus, I'm out focusing on the shop. But what I really appreciate is the fact that I could do, moderators. And you can block them on Restream and YouTube. You can choose it to post everything on YouTube. I do. They've done pretty well. Thank you, folks. And what's nice is I can look at Restream or YouTube and watch it on my phone as well. Yeah, it's been a little while. It's kind of overdue that I get some spam. And you have a tab for chat, so I can see chat on the right of this right here and off the screen. Captions is another tab where I can put what I want it to say. You know, so I could put, I already pre-typed this, and then I can just go in and change the name if I want to. Click save, and then I can put this up. So you can kind of plan out some things you're going to want to say, and just so I can also plan out how I usually say, like, Gans damn it, it's Mon Claude Mike, and I can just post that on there, have it ready to go, and just click show or hide. Excellent program without having to install a program. All right, for anybody who hasn't seen or who has switched, bull call. I love that. That is the only groundhog I don't want to get rid of, or whatever it is. Prairie dog, most likely. Because it looks like a prairie dog, but they gave him like extra teeth. It's not an app. It is done through a browser. So you just Google restream.io, and that's it. You get in via the browser. You don't have to install any of that stuff. So it's a browser run program, I guess, which is new to me but awesome. And you know, we do have our brother Paul, as well as Everett. Nice to see him smiling with a nice looking pipe. So yeah, so 22 pictures, custom ones I put in. Isn't it though? And the picture quality's impressive. That is a very nice picture. That warms your heart right there. That's how you bring a smile to your day. And before I understood the overlay feature, I had some of these set up in my logo. So like I do have, you know, RD, I don't have a photo, but I'm 6'2" and long blonde hair. So what I did, and this is a really good thing, you can take your phone, take a screenshot of whatever you want. So I go to Instagram and I find one of you guys, click the profile, look for a picture, zoom it in so it's not revealing anything around the edges, get it centered, and do a screenshot. I email it to myself, and then I have the Restream in one browser window, and then I go to my email in a second window, and I can go right to that email. Now, right now, I'm actually in my email screen. I can't see you guys, but if I do hover over the live stream, it shows me what's going on in the live stream. And it tells me this tab's using your camera and microphone. But I'm actually in my emails, and then I just download the picture and then go back to Restream and go over to overlay, or all right, I'll do it. I do want to make sure, if nobody's comfortable with their picture, I'm not going to hold it against you. Oh, now you're just showing off, Bob. What a great photo, bud. So I just took a screenshot, and while I'm here, I will go ahead and I will pop over to Instagram. And I will click on Cloud Bear. Oh, there's a reel. And let's find a nice picture. There's one with you with a pipe. Oh, that's a reel. Which you can get a screenshot in the reel, but I don't want to capture you where you're like trying to talk. But we can. Ooh, I got it just right. You're holding your pipe. Isn't that the truth, RD? All right, so we got one of Cloud Bear. So I will go to sharing, email it to myself. Just takes a few seconds to send. Buffet rule, buffet belly. I think that's better. You have a few bridges for sale. All right, and now I'll bring I brought Bob's over. I'm going to bring Cloud Bears over, which Bob already emailed me his, so I didn't need to bring it over from my phone, but I just did out of habit. All right. So there's Bob's. And so you guys probably see me looking around. You could be making faces at me. I wouldn't even know it. And Cloud Bear. That is a good photo, actually. I'm pretty pleased with how the screenshot came out, because I got to push 2 buttons to do my screenshot. It's a pain in the tush. Uncle Larry, it is great to have you. I hope you're having a good one. Good to see you, buddy. There we go. Now that I've uploaded them or downloaded them or whatever loaded them, I'm just adding to restream. Yeah, don't let the cigar go out. There we go. There's Bob. Look at that crazy fish. Whoops, I didn't mean to bump it. Impressive, Bob. Mabu is collecting sleeves. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a gorgeous one. And here is Cloud Bear. I snapped that. That's a reel. I actually managed to get lucky and snap a shot where he's holding this pipe. Well, nice for the second half of that. And since Uncle Larry just came in, Uncle Larry, what are you smoking and what are you smoking it in? My official bull call groundhog. I am smoking a Prenado. And if you guys are ever trying to get the word out on something you've got available, feel free to email it. I'll put it right here in my lives and show people. Why not spread the word? So if you got pipes you're working on, or you want to show off something you did in the weekend, or things like even harmless things like the sunrise. I'm going to use this a lot more often. I think what I'll do is put up some positive pictures, maybe post them on Instagram, and then maybe you'll see some short, like minute-long lives where I just put up a few different pictures and wish everybody a nice day. Just things like that. So thank you, Smarty Bob. I've been really happy with this. Their customer service is good. I've never had an issue. And if you're not a person that is highly educated on editing and you don't want to put new programs in only to find out that they're really invasive and they want to know all sorts of stuff, this has been amazing. Yeah, I'm going to show that again because that is from our front deck. And if you look, I'll try to describe it because I can't point it to you guys. the road, there's a white line. So you have the sunrise itself, and you have those hills and that bunch of trees in the middle. And then if you go down about a centimeter, there's a long white line. They meet the trees on the left, that little bunch halfway down the picture. Those are all snowdrifts. I did not have to. I did not have to at all, Smarty Bob. But I did email and let him know that I was surprised how good the app is, and asked if there was like a time limit and stuff, because some things there are. There's one I used to use, I don't even remember now, before Google Meet, that you had a limit of people if you kept the free version. And RD's heading out. Great to see you, RD. Thanks for being here, brother. If you ever decide you want to share anything, whether it's a picture of you or not, feel free to email it to me, and we'll get it posted, man, because then everybody here would be like, and Hillbilly, I know I've thanked you before. I need to thank you again for the cigars. Thank you so much. Our trades have been really enjoyable for me. I appreciate them. I appreciate our friendship. And it's just been fun, man. It's just been fun. Thank you. I agree, man. And you should. It's really simple. Just Google restream.io. It'll come up real simple. Let me put it in the caption for you. Yeah, I kind of am too. So you can see it. I'd say this cigar is probably in my top 7, because I've had some great ones. But it may tie with some. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Oh, I did have a picture. I'm glad you mentioned it, of some of the longest ashes I've ever had on a cigar. And I know it's not too far back, although I have tons of pipe pictures. Oh, I know one. I'm going to show you guys. Now, this isn't where this pipe is at in its progress right now. It's farther along. But I'm going to go ahead and post this. I want to show off the plateau for this Sherlock Holmes for Dingus. This is an Alec Bradley Prenado cigar. It's from Hillbilly Piper. It's awesome. It's a nice, not super heavy, really flavorful, mouth-watering cigar. But feel free, I ask you guys, if you're a presenter, to maybe let people know that if they would like to show something that they want to advertise, sell, whatever, and they want to get the word out little a little bit more, that they're certainly welcome to get in touch with me. My email is in my about section on YouTube. And as long as it's an appropriate picture, I will totally advertise for them. I'll put the name next to it, whether they're in it or not. As long as they've okayed it, then I will go ahead and advertise for them. Let me see. Oh, and I got to post one of my dogs for you guys. Oh my goodness. My big boy, who's not a very big boy, but he's a big boy. You know what I mean? Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember you telling me that, Patrick. Cloud Bear, is there any particular reason you stopped cigars? Just curious. Just adding some pictures. I'll show you guys one of my favorite pipes that I miss to this day. I'm glad it found a home, but I miss it. I miss it. It's one I would have loved to keep. It's an author shape. And it does have a dip from plateau that adds gorgeous character to it. So we'll show you guys some more because there's a lot of wonderful things on here. Oh, okay. I got you, Cloud Bear. Hey, that makes sense, man. If you're gonna quit cigarettes, I could imagine that cigars would kind of make it easy to go back to cigarettes. I could only imagine. I've not been into cigarettes. There was one point my brothers tried to get me to use them. I didn't like them. Luckily, it wasn't something that I got hooked on, and they did. My one brother, my oldest brother, I gave a pipe to, has cut back dramatically. I was going to tell him the other night I would make him an author. I've made a gorgeous author. You guys will see shortly. Now I'm just trying to show. Let's see where that cigar ash went. I know I'm close because I remember working on this commission right about that time. Oh man. Here is my freehand style Church Warden Dublin. So I will include that. You guys are going to see some gorgeous pictures. Was it sort of a fresh start kind of thing? I know for me, sometimes it's like I want to start from scratch. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had some videos early on. I was using a really outdated tablet, and the quality wasn't great on its own. And then when I went back and viewed my live through my phone to see what people were getting through their phone, I was like, okay, this is not good. And fortunately this wonderful. Oh, that's my old church warden volcano. That went to Vegas Piper. I have missed that pipe since too. But this was, I think initially this laptop was worth somewhere like 250, and it was on sale for like 130 bucks, 140 bucks, I don't remember. Man, it's bringing me back looking at these pipes. I miss the cigar ash. I went past it a little, but that's okay. I've got some great photos to share with you guys. I'll do one more quick pass to see if I catch the cigar ash. If not, I've got some wonderful pictures to show you guys. I can't wait to show you. Um, and it notifies you. It's so nice because I can click email, tells me it's done. Very handy. It will be on there in my email, and you just click download and then put it on Restream. Takes 40 seconds to a minute. Bob, you're going to appreciate one of these pictures, buddy. It's 3 commissions I did at a similar time. One of them was for, and I've got a picture of one of your pipes from me as well, Donnie. Let's see if I can. Where's the ash? Aha! You guys are going to be impressed. All right, here's the cigar. And that it's going to my email. Nice, Bob. Very nice. All right, so I'm going to pop over and grab these photos to show you fellas. And they just take 2 seconds mostly, depending on the size, to download. Some take like up to 10 seconds, but they really don't take much time. All right, I've got 3 more. I love this. When I do get some new pipes, I may not always post pictures of them, so I can put them on the lives and show people and give them the opportunity. This one, I've got my spindle sander in the background. This one is Hillbilly's Volcano Church Warden. Before we went to a different Oh, nice. Are you okay with me showing that picture, Joel? I sure will. If you're okay with it, I'd be proud of that. That's an awesome picture, buddy. Got some Scottish going on there. I totally support. I'm Italian and Scotch Irish primarily. So I've got roots in good places. Okay, I had some more come up when I refreshed. So I got 4 more, and I'm doing the 4th to last one right now. Now I can just click download, but I kind of like to open up the picture, then go to the bottom and download. I don't know why, but it's in the muscle memory, and that will make it easier on my mind. Last 2 pictures. Loading up. Oh, man. There's Bob's pipe. And last photo. Thank you for bearing. Is the cigar. And that is, boom, done. Coming back to the live. Oh, great, buddy. I will do that. All right. And I just go over to graphics tab, which is all easy to see. Thank you, Smarty Bob. I'm getting the hang of it. It was at least practice earlier. All right, let's see if it'll let me do this. I did add a good amount of photos, but that's okay. The more the merrier. All right, let's see. And there's Bob's and Cloud Bears. And then I just highlight it, click open. It starts putting it into Restream. Then I click back to add another one. While that one's going into Restream, it opens back up my recent downloaded files. And I can start with the next while that's doing its thing. Very good. I think I have 9 more pictures. So I think I did 11. Looks like. I may have miscounted, but I glanced. Great picture. I would hate to see you mad. I've got some, and I've got a little bit of mutt. I've got a little bit of English in the background, French, German, Swedish. All right, so this, again, this one was a while back. I have since done more work to it, but I wanted you to see the plateau that will be almost entirely kept on Dingus's Sherlock Holmes. Now, the rim that you guys see, there's a tiny ledge about 1/8 of an inch or so down, or 1/4 of an inch, and that is now gone. It now goes right up the rim where I wanted it. I gave it that excess, so when I sand, I didn't sand too far. But it's got bird's eye all over. The saw marks on the side are gone. It's downsized a bit, but that plateau is amazing. And there is nothing done to that. There's no wax. That's the natural wood. This is Theodore. I call him Theodorable. Hunter, welcome in, brother. Great to see you. How the heck are you, buddy? And I'll leave the dog up for happiness while I start more pictures. I do have one other, but I have a second one for the next picture. Hunter, if you ever have any pipes available that you would like to show off for some work, feel free to shoot me an email or message. And as long as it's appropriate, which I know it would be from you. You know, I would love to advertise for people. So spread the word in your videos or Google Meets or whatever you do, that I'd be happy to advertise and share people's work. I am planning on being live more as I make more pipes. Things are going really well. Mentally. All right, I'm just doing Joel's picture, and then I have 5 more. And I will show you a picture here. And this was before the final sanding and waxing of the Sort of Tomato author, but I nailed that stem. I'm so proud of it. And I also did, before the person got it, you can see by the mouthpiece, I did do a final smoothing and buffing of that. But I wanted to show you guys, not only is the drilling wonderful, but that little bit of plateau that made it on the edge. That was one of my favorite pipes. All right, Hunter. Bowl call, brother. What are you smoking? What are you smoking it in? I'm going to bring some more pictures in. Yeah, 5 more. So there's one coming in. Yeah, a bit of a tomato. I was initially going for something and converted it over and just really liked where it was at and decided to shape it up and smooth it out and call it good. A tomato worm? Oh, I see. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good thought. This is the volcano church warden that went to Hillbilly Piper. Whoops, I think I brought one in twice, but that's okay. We'll see. I don't think, maybe I didn't. And this will bring several in at once. So it's pretty nice. I guess it moves, they uploaded. And that was Cloud Bear just thinking of you. Regensburger Pries Snuff. Thank you, fellas. Thank you, Hillbilly. All right, let's see where I was at. Let's see. There is Joel. I think I did skip one picture, so I will go back. I lost count. And then we have Church Warden Dublin, freehand. That was commissioned by Zippo. I did custom rustication on there that I have never seen or done. And I did keep the panels. That's the finished product, other than I think I gave it one more buffing with some wax afterward. And this was the freehand for Volcano for Vegas Piper. Still the church warden that got away. Kept the plateau. I left the base underneath the stem and put ABU on it. That's where he thought I sent him pictures. I said, what do you want me to do here? Do you want me to reduce it? He said, that'd be a good spot for Abu. And I said, okay. And we have Papa Bear's Nooks, Paul's Volcano pipe with lava stem. The middle one is the XL Poker freehand for Hunter. I should have gotten a shot. I might have it on my phone. I should have gotten a picture of the fish scale rustication on the other side. And then we have Smarty Bob's pipe, the red one. I let my cigar go out. And just for proof, that was taken about 5 seconds before the ash gave out. Nice, Smarty Bob. I really did love them all. But yes, I was quite partial to the red one as well as the poker because the shape. The red one was one of those two were two of the most tempting pipes to smoke. It took everything I had to not smoke them. So I was grateful you picked them up, fellas. Smarty Bob, I'm glad you picked up the red one. It suits you. Um, looks like it makes you happy, and that's the whole point of it all. Oh, shoot. I did overlook a couple of chats. And let's see. Oh, great to see you. Great to see you, Smarty Bob. Merry Christmas to you. Have a beautiful night. You be safe as well. It's good to see you again. You seem to be feeling better, but I hope you just keep feeling better every day. Thanks for the continuing support and being here. It's always a pleasure to see you, buddy, and to get to share, whether it's a cigar or a pipe or just a chat. It's always a pleasure, buddy. And that is true, Patrick. And now it's actually helped me a lot because having the supplies to make the pipe and having the ability and knowledge to at least get a great smoking machine really makes it easier to pass up on looking for pipes and buying them, because I do get dissuaded by name brand pipes and prices that don't match the smoke quality. I do get dissuaded by seeing, $250 up Savinelli's or Peterson's, whatever brand, but seeing pipes that expensive and getting them where the drill isn't good enough to be more than a pretty good smoke. That was my big inspiration for really experimenting with several ideas for drilling, and it just frustrated me. I'm like, there should be a way people can get a good quality pipe that smokes like an artisan pipe versus machine made or factory made, that doesn't break your wallet and can be something unique that you want. I had this chat with Joel the other evening, and I've chatted with a few other guys in the past. Now, when I started, I was looking for a big house pipe. It was one of those huge ones you just sit and enjoy for a long time. And I reached out to a couple of commissioners or a couple of artisans, and I get along with them fine. I got nothing against them. And it was really disheartening because I wasn't super new at smoking a pipe. And I think about the people new to pipe smoking that know a pipe that they want, and it really makes you not as interested when you when you get in touch with a pipe carver and you go, hey, I'd really like a big pipe, and then they say, no, this is what you want. And for someone as stubborn as I am, when they say, no, this is what you want, I think in my head, actually, ding dong, I told you what I want. Don't tell me what I want. I told you what I want. And I'm more polite than that. So I have a nice conversation with them and say, okay, thank you. Just wanted to see what you could do. And that happened a couple of times. And then I got in touch with a guy that collects big pipes. And I said, hey, you're always posting these beautiful big pipes. Are you selling any of them, or do you know where I could get them? And all he said, and I still get along with him to this day, he likes a lot of my pipes and he views the bigger pipes I do. He always likes them. And I said, all he told me was they're around, but I come across countless carvers who only do the classics. And I'm okay with doing classics. But if somebody wants a big pipe, why can't they have that? There should be no reason that I can think of. There's no reason why a person coming into this or having been in this decides they want to support an artisan. Why can't that person say, hey, this is the pipe I want? Why can't they get the pipe they want? And why can't it smoke really good? It's mind-boggling to me because I feel like so many, and I understand why there's a lot of focus on classic shapes, but it drives me crazy and makes me kind of wonder. I'm like, well, these artisans can do these great classic shapes. Why can't they make a bigger pipe? Or why won't they? And so, as far as Hunters and RD got a jumbo, he wanted a pipe with 1/2-inch walls in every direction. So he got a great poker pipe. It was made rustic. I left some little sand marks on it so they darken. And so far, he's told me he's enjoyed it. And why, he should have what he wants. Exactly. Now, and I have nothing against those artisans because I also understand if they're very comfortable with a certain type of pipe or certain, if they know what they can do well, that's fine. They encourage, hey, maybe this would suit you better. I'm all for that. Be straightforward with the person. Let them know what you can or can't do, what you're really good at doing, your signature style, because they might say, okay, if you're really good at doing that and I have wanted one of those pipes, I'll go with that one. So I've got nothing against any of the carvers. And I get along with them all and enjoy chats with them fairly frequently. But I feel like if someone's going to spend the money, they may as well get a great smoking pipe for what they put into it. Let's see. Like the middle one, let me double check. Oh, let me look at this other chat. I did miss one. And then I will go over to the pictures. I think I know what you're saying. In fact, I will go to this so I can see the chat a little bit more, scroll easily. And I did mean to respond to this, Patrick. It stayed on the back burner at least. So for straight churchwarden, yeah, I haven't seen any either. But the angle looked good, and I asked Hillbilly, at least I think I asked him if he wanted it bent or anything, and he said he kept saying, "Leave it as it is. Don't do anything else to it. I want it. Leave it be." Okay, like the poker. That's what I thought you meant. I will bring up the picture again. Let's see right here. So for that, okay. So for that pipe with the shank, now you can kind of see on the far end of the shank there's plateau, which is why I left that out. Are you talking about, like, do you also want the thickness, like where it's narrow and then goes out to having a thicker bit at the end? Because I did leave yours thick. I'd have to double check. I think I already cut the angle. Bent billiard, I'm pretty sure. But I'll look tomorrow and take a look through the blocks and stuff like that, because I do have some other large ones. So if you do want it straight like that, I do have other pipe options, other block options I can look into. I can look for the next best one for you. Okay, I see. So you're saying that you like the flare. You don't want it to meet like this, right? Just so it's got a noticeable, comfortable, but still noticeable piece, almost similar to like military mount kind of thing. Okay, I think I got you. I can do that. Definitely. It does, like I said, I'm certain that if I recall correctly, which I'm pretty sure I do. I know sometimes I've worked on so many, I'll mix one up with another in my head that night. But yeah, if you're okay with it still being at the bend we talked about, where it's going slanted compared to the bowl, I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure I've already got it like this. But I can do that. I did leave the plateau and stuff at the top, so yours could even have going into some plateau if you'd like. I did mark where it was going to be, and yeah, I can have it go right into plateau if you'd like. That is fine. If you do you want it? Yeah, it's not too late. It would just be too late to make it like this, because it is like this. But it is not too late to do the stem into the block. I did not trim that down yet. Do you want it rounded, or do you want it sort of square shape or square with rounded edges a little bit? Do you have a preference on that? I know you said don't, I'm not going to send you pictures. I know you said leave it till it's done. Do you have a preference on how rounded the shank is, or at least where it meets the pipe? And do you want the shank to narrow and then go to that flare? Do you want it to, say, here's the shank, do you want it to kind of curve out to meet that? Or do you want it to be kind of like the poker one? Okay, fair enough. Tomorrow, my plan with yours, I'm working on yours and Dingus's, and there's two others I'm working on at the moment. But I will do work on all of them tomorrow. Do you just like the style? Okay. What's funny is it's actually been a pretty popular style. Not I don't see it very often, not often enough for my liking, but I did have my first few pipes were the pre-drilled blocks. All right, bud. And I made the first few. Andrew got one. I always mix his name and Country Gentleman up. I want to say Country Piper, or Southern Piper, from Emerson Southern Forged. He got one, and it was a billiard, and it had that flare at the end too, and he likes it because you can hold it like a cigar if he feels like. So cool. I did put it on pause. Once I sent you the email, I put it on. I stopped where I was at, so before I made any other changes, when we were talking about the round feel and stuff like that, so that I wouldn't get too far and not be able to go back. I will, even if I don't go show you picture after picture, I'll still go through step by step for some of the things. Not yet, Patrick. I got some commissions in, so I did put the hawk bill, I'll say, on the side burner, not the back burner. The pickaxe, I did get to start a little bit, and that took a side step as well, so I can focus on the commissions. But when I am in between commissions, so I'll do whenever I'm doing my best on for the day. So like today, my best was between about 11 to about 2 or 10 to 2, somewhere around there. So I focus when I'm doing my best and everything can be drilled well. I focus solely on the commissions, and then when I still have a little bit of energy or I get a second wind, then that's when I go to the other side projects, and I usually don't do drilling when I'm not at the best part of the day. So I'll do some shaping a little bit here and there, kind of start a little bit of the initial steps, and then set it down and come back to it. So like tomorrow, since I did do a lot of drilling today, very, very successfully. What a great day. My drills were right on. I think the only one that was off was like a 32nd of an inch, and that was it. For the draft hole, everything else all day nailing the draft holes. Beautiful day. And then when I started getting really tired, I was just like, okay, I did some sanding and got some things ready, emailed some people, and then said, okay, now I'm talked with my dad for an hour or so and decided, all right, I better stop for the day. I did so much more than I thought I would. Yeah, pipe after pipe, mortise after mortise, just started the 2 really artistic looking pipes coming up. I think you guys are really going to love. These are going to be 2 of my art pieces. The devil ants, did not start on the devil ants yet. I did do a pipe, the Lord of the Rings themed, that I rusticated some leaves onto for Paul, who I also have another commission for. that I'm going to start with probably within 2 weeks. I meant to pick the block out, and I did forget today, but I'll pick the block out tomorrow or the next day and start on a blowfish. Oh, excellent. I did get to try some secondhand bookshop. Hillbilly gave me a sample. I believe he said it was from Parsimonious as well, and I liked it. But I did, as far as answers go, that acorn, that point at the bottom on the Church Warden Lord of the Rings pipe for Paul, I did nail that sort of rounded point just perfectly. But Devil Ants will come down the road. I'm guessing about a month. I think within a week I should have 3 more commissions done and a couple of side projects done. I have 2 commissions done. I'm just waiting till I can mail. Oh, okay, I got you, Cloud Bear. And then next week I am starting 6 pipes for veterans. And so I've got 14 commissions. By the end of the week, everything goes really well. Still, I will be done with half of them. So it's going good. My new method of doing certain ones, I still do the commissions like you're in line, kind of in a queue. But what I do is I'll take a group of pipes, whether it's 13 pipes or 4 pipes or whatever, and I'll do the shaping for all of them, and then I'll do the drilling for all of them. Except sometimes I do wait on the chamber for the last couple that just aren't a priority. And then I get them shaped out and sanded, and then when I get them, depending on when they're due, I usually have about 4 to 6 that are sanded till they're just about for the last sanding or 2, or the finishing touches, where it's like the last sanding or 2, the staining, the buffing, that kind of stuff. And then I will focus solely on the one that's due next and get it stained, work on the others, get them caught up, and then when those are all done staining, then and I've usually by then got a stem picked out or we've decided on it, whatever the case, then I take a couple of days where I'm almost exclusively am doing stems. And then any last minute waxing and polishing I'll do on the pipes, and then another day. So about 4 days is just staining, waxing, and polishing the pipes and the stem stuff. And then the pipes are done. And then all of a sudden there's 4 commissions done and ready to mail out. So that method has been very successful for me. It has helped me immensely. It's saved me so much time. So if I do have and I do let people know up front that I ask 8 to 10 weeks time. Aside from one exception of a pipe, I've never had them take that long. One exception, I did 2 orders, then there was a mail issue, then a slight weather issue, but it still never hit past. I think we were at, before it was finished, I think we're at week 7. Typically, they're done within a week to 3 weeks. They go pretty fast. But part of the issue was, at the time, I was doing where I would focus on one pipe. And then if I had, if you figure you switch out drilling or whatever you're going to do 4 times per pipe, then you're switching that out. If you do 10 pipes, that's 40 to 50 bit changes. And you can do 10 or less for those 10 pipes if you set it all once or twice, depending on the bit size. So if I set up, let's say 5 of them are going to be 7/8 diameter, then I set that up, do all the pipes, move on to the next one, switch out it's so much of a time saver. It's incredible. And doing the stems one after the other, where I'm in the zone, my muscle memory is right there. Then I can, and with the new meds especially, I can focus on the stems and get a whole stem done in a day, no problem. Sometime, or at least like in one day, I can get 4 or 5 halfway done. So usually I can do stems, typically take a day to 4 days, usually 2 to 4, and then polishing. And any bending and stuff doesn't take a long time. I do add another day to that because I do like to make sure they're set. They're, I cool them down, and I want to leave them. And that gives it that 24 hours in case for some weird reason a stem would decide to crack overnight, which has never happened. I just like to give it that buffer. So it's like, I don't want to say, hey, it's done, and mail it, and then go, wait a minute, have it crack in the mail or something. I want to make sure it's totally good, polished, all done. And then any wax that absorbed, there's, or polished and whatever. I just want to make sure they're completely, totally finished and have had the overnight in the temperature controlled shop to verify everything's good. Then if there's a fluke in a stem, because you do get some that are softer or some that are more brittle, and temperature can make a difference, but sometimes you just get, they made a stem and the material wasn't done right, and it's usually about 10% of the stems fail. It's not too bad. But then it gives me time to make it right before it goes out. But I've had very good luck with Briar, very good luck with stems. And patience is key. Equal attention is very important. But I am excited for the hawkbill. I think that's going to be, I would estimate that the hawkbill and the pickaxe are going to be very similarly timed, since they will take more extensive work, and they will be after I get these current commissions done. But Joel, if you're still here, I think you are. Oh, you are back. Nice. I just want to tell you thank you very much. And I've told my wife and I've told my dad that, this was your first commissioned artisan pipe, and I really appreciate you thinking of me and reaching out to me. And that's how a lot of commissions have gone. People send me an email and say, hey, can you make this? And I've only turned down one commission, and it was simply for the fact the person wanted an extended wooden shank inlaid church warden, and I just don't have that ability. I haven't learned that yet. Down the road, probably. But at this point, I just couldn't do it. So I was honest with them and said, hey, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And they ended up getting a different church warden anyway, just doing an acrylic stem on a different church warden. And I think they picked up a wooden shanked one they wanted. somewhere else. I hated to tell them no, but I just said, this is what I can do. I do have these options. And they liked them and went with them, and it was a great pipe anyways. Still good friends with the person requesting the commission. If it's a shape I don't think I can do, and I like a challenge, and I'm open to every shape, but if it's one I know I'm not ready for and I can't wrap my head around it at the time, I'll just be honest and say, I'm sorry, I just can't do that. But I've only had one that I had to turn down. So far, every commission, whether it be a billiard or an XL pipe or a small pipe or medium pipe or poker pipe or church wardens, I don't turn them down. I'll do everything I can and keep good communication so everybody's on the same page and knows where we're at, and nobody's left going, oh, I thought you were going to do it this way. Why didn't you do it this way? And the volcano, the recent volcano with the red and black stem, that one we'd gone through several ideas leading up to it, and I was able to keep in mind the things I remember the person really liking about the other two ideas for the volcano pipe and put them into this other one and still kept the new ideas they had, and it worked out really good. Really good. But you could have looked into other commission or other artisans, and maybe you did. That's fine. You got to shop around, you got to look around and find what works best for you. But I do appreciate being on that list. It is definitely the next step. I really feel like once I've gone after artisan pipes, I don't want any more factory made pipes unless there's a look that I just really want and it just totally strikes me. I have absolutely no desire to pick up any other pipes. And oftentimes now I look at them and I go, I really like that shape. And then I go, you know what? I bet I could do that. And then I just make it. And then I don't even end up keeping it. I might make it for myself. And then I go, somebody else should have this. This is nice. They should enjoy this. And it ends up going to someone else. But that's the whole thing. It's my pleasure, man. There was about 9 years where I couldn't turn a wheel, so to speak. And I don't believe I've told you. In 2013, I got West Nile. Not long after, I got necrotizing fasciitis. And I just didn't have energy. I had lost a ton of muscle, a ton of weight. You could see I was very skeletal looking, and I just couldn't do anything, and it was miserable. And the hospital here was not listening to a lot of things I told them. A lot of information didn't get passed on. I did a night study, and they said this will check for 80, 83 or 89, one of those numbers. I think it was 83. It says, we'll check for 83 things. And I said, okay. I said, like what? And one, they said, we're going to check for sleep apnea because maybe you're having seizures because of sleep apnea and not enough rest. I said, okay, what else is it going to check for? And they couldn't name them. And I did the night study, and the place that did the study, they had a third party come in. They never reported it to the hospital. And so we went through insurance nightmares with some not so great companies. And we went through hospital nightmares. So just the fact that there's something I can do, and I used to work with wood when I first had West Nile and couldn't work. I made children's toys. We made handmade wooden alphabet blocks, trains, trucks, cars, just about everything, my dad and I, to get by. I did pottery, all sorts of stuff to get by, and finally just couldn't do anymore. I did go back to work after almost 11 months not being able to work and couldn't keep up with the physical toll. And then didn't work for a few more months, then found a job that worked and I started to improve. And that's when I got fasciitis and then had to move the other end of the state and get treatment and all that. And I'm very fortunate. There was a very high chance that this arm down would not be here and my legs would not be here. So on a 50-50 chance, I was super lucky that a medication only a couple years out did work for me, and it was exactly 50-50 on the cases that it worked for and didn't work for. So fortunately, it worked for me. It was a miserable time, but I can't walk for a long time. My legs will get shaky and weak. I get shaky. But now I can do something I love. I can go back to woodwork. It's a whole new project with endless possibilities on the horizon. And so, thanks to people like you who are requesting commissions or commissioning pipe, it gives me something to look forward to every day. It gives me a goal. It gives me something to practice on and get better at. And it also supports my mom. So if nobody commissioned it, it wouldn't be possible because I wouldn't have the money for the supplies. It's self-sustaining and it's, commission to commission, but so far the commissions have paid for, my dad helped me get started with supplies other than I did purchase the first 4 hobby blocks, and he has helped me with tools and STEM material, but after the first order, it's been enough to support my mom and pick up supplies after every so many commissions. So it's been a total blessing. And it has helped so much. Doing my best to get a lot of pipes made available since I'm feeling better most of the time. And my mom has some both knee replacements coming up in a few months and probably a hip replacement. So I'm doing everything I can to just get a bunch of them done well and keep improving and give her a nice surprise down the road. So that's my goal. As long as I have something to do that isn't costing the bills, because I couldn't do it. If it isn't taking from my what's that called? If it isn't taking from my budget, even if I barely have enough sometimes for supplies, that's fine. But it's been a blessing. It really has. And people that commission pipes don't have to do it. You can go online and find pipes anywhere. But I will tell you, there is a massive difference in smoking quality. There just is. You can tell unless you find an extremely rare find, which I've only found one out of about 70 pipes, that is just an outstanding, above the rest, feels almost like an artisan pipe. Was the Clark's favorite that Hillbilly Piper sent for Mabu. That Savinelli, I've never smoked a pipe that smokes as good as that Clark's favorite until you hit artisan. It smokes like an artisan made factory pipe, like as close to artisan as you can get. And aside from that, I don't chase any pipes anymore. I want artisan pipes only because you get spoiled when you have that good of a smoke. You really do. But it's been a blessing, and I greatly appreciate it. from yourself and everybody else who has picked up an Abu pipe. And even if you pick up a pipe from another artisan, I still appreciate it because you're supporting somebody trying to make an honest living while still trying to provide a good service to people. And you don't see a lot of the good services anymore. You see a lot of the over advertised, cheaply made, poor quality, quickly kicked out sales. Or, when you find something that someone put a lot of care into, that's something special. And thank you, fellas, for the support. Thank you, Cloud Bear. Thank you, Patrick. And thank you again. Thank you again, Joel. What do you want yourself, Patrick? I kind of look around when I'm talking a lot, and that's just so I don't like zone out, stare at one thing and get stuck. So I do look around. Yeah. I have a J Mouton antler tamper, and if my mind isn't deceiving me right now, that's from RD. It's a great tamper. A paneled hawkbill. I will make note, and I will bump that up in priority. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Jack Ryan pipe. I do have a Bones pipe. It smokes well. I have liked them. I have 2 Eric Weavers, some Phil Rivaras, some Professor Walkers. But I will look into that within this week then for you, Patrick. I'll see what I can do. I'll drop some ideas and use the next couple evenings to kind of study up on it a little more so I'm more familiar with it. And then once I have it locked down, then I'll just go through for the right block and go from there. And if I make it and you like it, let me know. If you like how it's going and you want to make a change or there's something you want some saying, let me know. And we'll gladly make it yours. And if it isn't if it isn't one that is the look you want or something like that, if you see it made and it's not the color you want or something like that, that's fine. I'd start another one for you, but I do want to do one. That is one I've wanted to do a while since you mentioned it a while back. But I'll move it up a bit. Ah, yes, and I do have an LCS Volcano. And I was laughing because Simon was funny. He said, I've heard you've made a lot of Volcano pipes. I've seen some. And he said, you ought to have one you can smoke because he knows how the game works. You make a pipe, you would keep it, but do you keep it or do you pass it to somebody else? And I always end up passing them to somebody else. And he knows I like that shape and have wanted to keep one. And so when I saw him making one in a live, I was, yeah, I got to get it. I got to support him a bit. And at the time it was easier to. And it smokes Burleys and Englishes exceptionally well. I would guess, is it a Rivara that's a hawkbill? I could see it being Phil's. Maybe Simon's. I just picture Phil. But I'll make one. If you decide, if you decide it's for you, it's for you. I'm really proud of the drilling of the more artistic looking Dublin that I'm making. I got the drilling done today, and I did I had drilled the chamber already. I am doing a lot of drilling now where it's mortise first, and I'm getting used to that pretty quickly. Um, but at the time, I was doing chamber first, which as long as it comes out smoking good, it doesn't matter. If you're really comfortable with one over the other, it doesn't matter. But I am trying to do mortise first. And this one, I had the chamber drilled a few weeks back, or a couple weeks back, and I did the mortise drilling today and the draft hole, and it was awesome. The bottom of now it's got a forward cant to it, so you have the bottom of the bowl being about like that inside the chamber, and then it comes through the shank and comes out in the very bottom, and that's the one that's just to the left, like a 32nd of an inch, just nothing. But I did put a stem on it that it's just my test stem. I put a short stem on it and tested the draw, and it's beautiful. It is going to be one of the best drawing pipes I've ever had the pleasure of getting to test. It's fantastic. So that would be one I would keep. But it's going to be a unique shape. It's a Dublin. I'll give a bit of a spoiler. I'm going to round the back of it above the shank. It's going to be rounded, and it's going to go into almost like an old stone arrowhead, but without the tip. So it'll be almost where it goes out like this, and then you're left with plateau at an angle. It's going to be beautiful. I've drawn all over the thing how I'm going to do the shank, bunch of plateau on the bottom. There's going to be a lot of smooth surface. It's going to be beautiful. Oh, Hunter, you're running off. Hunter, it was a pleasure having you with us, buddy. That smile's for you. Thank you for being here, brother. You have a good whenever you do send a pipe, just shoot me an email so I know when to watch for it. I'm already watching for other things right now anyway. They should by now. If they didn't, I'm surprised if they didn't clear it today. The main distribution center roads the highways were all closed, so that should be open now. Because they did work late this evening, so I'm hoping that packages where the main distribution can finally get here. I should have had my new stems Friday, and they got stopped because of the weather. So it was my end. Oh, excellent, Patrick. That's cool, bud. Yes, and Merry Christmas if I don't see you. And if you need to wait on the shipping, feel free. I just ask if you let me know when you do send it out or when you intend to, so I don't miss it. Also, I will be. Let's see, what's today? I always forget the day. Sunday. Oh, I remembered it earlier. Come on. I will do this coming tumultuous Tuesday. And then I will miss Saturdays, of course, live, and possibly the probably the following Tuesday's Tumultuous Tuesday. So after Tuesday, the Saturday and Tuesday, I will probably take both off. And most likely I will still do I'm responsible. I keep in my mind there's commissions to do, and I love working on pipes. So some of those days I will probably still do some pipe work. But I'm planning on about 3 days of just avoiding the phone. I will check a couple of times a day the emails or anything like that, but I won't check it like each hour. We're gonna spend Mabu and I are gonna spend Christmas with some family here, and then she and I will have a Christmas together, and we're just gonna keep it nice and quiet. So what I might do is pre-record a video, and then when Christmas comes, I'll post it. But it will be one that's recorded possibly tonight, and I'll either post it tonight or I'll record it and wait till closer to that time, then post it, just to get that out there. Some Christmases are more laid back and people are watching stuff and hanging out, and sometimes people are busy, so I want to make sure my schedule's open, so if we get any visitors or anybody stopping by, we're here, and present and available to spend time with them and just not be tied up and stuff. So I'm going to smoke the rest of my let's see which one this is. Oh, this is one of mine because it's good. This is my favorite English. I won't give away what's in it, but I wasn't sure at first because I scorched it a bit, but I saved the pipe full for the last 3 or 4 days because Mabu didn't like the smell. But since she's laying down and over there, the smell won't go towards her sitting over here. I am going to put, and thank you guys. I haven't said this for a while. Thank you guys for the likes. From whole leaf tobacco, I've never had mold from it. I ordered 5 or 6 pounds from them almost about a year and a half ago, maybe. It's been a while. And I left it in the plastic bags in a box for quite some time. I did do some processing of a bunch into jars. And then I did some blends, and then I went through with a cutting board and a utility knife, took care of the stem work and put some into strips, folded them over and put them in jars so they're ready to be pressed into blends. And then any tidbits I threw in labeled like Latakia, Kentucky, Virginia, and that's just to blend and smoke with. I've never had a mold. Is there a visual mold on them by any chance? Oh, mine were whole leaf. St. James Perique. That's weird. Now, I know they can have a weird smell to them because Perique is usually burley that's been fermented and pressed for a long time, but I've never had mold. And that's pretty rare for whole leaf tobacco because they have a very good reputation. I doubt they maybe they had a bad batch and missed it. Smells like sour. It can have a sour smell to it, but that's um was it like that when you got it? After you opened it? Um what did you store it in once you opened it? Okay. So once I've opened mine, I did have the Virginia open for a while, but it didn't have that issue. It just started getting a little bit dry, but I had it open for about maybe a week or less. And then I said, okay, I got to process these. And I got them out. And, but I've never had a mold. The Perique, I did open and process. And the half a package I had left, I did jar. I rolled up the package, put it in a jar, and closed it. So I will revisit that tomorrow and let you know if it's done anything. Aside from that, I had Kentucky, I had open a while, and I've never had it. It didn't mold either. Um, I'm sure with the intense moisture and pressure and fermentation that it's more likely. It is more plausible to me that the Perique would ferment or would mold, but I'll have to look and let you know. I'll check it out tomorrow because I haven't looked at it or revisited it. Once I separated, the strips I was talking about that are just like a couple inches by 4 or 5 inches, and put those in a jar and sealed them. They didn't mold. The bits that I kept to smoke, they didn't mold. But I have not looked in that plastic bag. But I did, like I said, I rolled the plastic bag, put it in a jar, and sealed it. So they're all whatever was open is in jars. Um, send Yes. I couldn't remember the name, so I'm glad you did. um, if you get some time to take some pictures, um, send them and I'll take a look. Yeah, it sounds like you're storing it right. Um, I did do some vacuum sealing on some stuff, and that does make a difference. But the jar is especially important because it will keep its original environment and it won't allow any extra stuff in. Did is it St. James Perique? I don't know if you said that, but I just don't recall if you did. If it's St. James Perique, I'll open mine back up and give it a smell and let you know because I just don't remember. I want to say it was a little fruity, but I just can't. It's been such a while, and I've smelled so many other tobaccos, so I just can't remember what it smelled like. Okay, well that's good because then I can compare it to mine and go, my Preak's like this, and you won't be going, well, that doesn't help. That's different than the one I have. Um, I would be sure and email them. Um, Sweet and sour tobacco. Hey, I'll have to do a chat with you. I'll have to share a recipe with you. I made a tobacco blend called Sweet and Spicy, and it goes through 5 different dimensions where it starts out pretty sweet, and you can notice almost each fifth of the way through that it goes from sweet to different variations. So it'd be like sweet, sweet with a hint of warmth, sweet and spicy, right 50-50, to sweet a little bit with more spiciness to the end being practically all spicy, and then it burns to a white ash. It's fantastic. So if you're looking for like a sweet and spicy, it's amazing. There's nothing like that one. Um, then there's also I did make a blend sour by accident with certain Turkish when I was discovering what Turkishes did what when I blended them and tried different amounts. And the hardest part for me is when I do too much sourness from like Virginias or Turkish, it stays on my tongue, and my taste buds will be like sour for a few days. So it's very hard for me to try to do a sweet and sour or a very sour blend and tolerate. And that's why I haven't really come up with a great sweet and sour blend, because it's like it's same with Latakia. I can come up with English blends, but I'd like to make a really nice lat bomb. And I haven't done it because same thing. I'll get like that laced kind of feeling on my tongue after too much Latakia, so I can't give it like 4 smokes and go, yeah, this is right. Um, so those have to be spaced out. And I will do a lat bomb this year. I'd like to have it blend like maybe Christmas time, make the blend and then have it available. But yeah, I haven't done a sweet and sour, but it does sound good. For sweet and sour, it could be. Um, One that would help. Oh, I see. You're talking about the lap balm. Okay. I was like, if I'm thinking sweet and sour, I would do like yellow Virginia because that's nice and sweet, with probably some Galwith and Hogarth Kendall Virginia, Kendall Gold, for a little more sweetness, but it'd be like a couple of pinches. Oh, okay. And then the yellow Virginia would give nice sweetness and could lead to sour. And then maybe, depending on how strong the sour was, maybe I would add some ribbon Turkish, because a lot of that would do sour. But if you don't want to overstep the sweet to the point you don't really get it. Gaslight is one of my favorites. That is a fantastic blend. Perique is such a versatile component. It's underrated. I know there are some people that don't like it, but you can do a lot of stuff with Perique. You can get incense, you can get fruit, you can get pepper, you can get really spicy, you can get earthiness, you can get dustiness. There's so much. I've got so many blends with Perique in it, different kinds, from ribbon to Louisiana Perique. Louisiana Perique's really good if you're going to do a fruity blend because it supports. So if you're going to do like a Cavendish, that would be good in sour. Actually, would be Louisiana Perique. And let's see, Louisiana Perique with like non-topped black Cavendish. So like Sutliff B20 would be a Cavendish. Would be excellent for that, actually. That would cover sweet and sour, and then you could add a pinch of maybe yellow Virginia and possibly some ribbon Turkish. That'd probably do it. Picayune. I haven't had that, but I've heard of it. I've heard it's strong. Have you smoked Windjammer before, Patrick? I was surprised it was pretty good. Everybody was treating a fad for a while. But the sample I had was, I liked it. It was better than I expected. It's not the best blend in the world, but I'd probably give it, I don't know, like a 3.8 or something out of 5. But it was very good. If I rated tobacco over 3, it's worth smoking because I'm very strict. I'm very harsh. Since I've done blends, I am now even more harsh on my blends and other blends. Smoke it in a small nice. Oh yeah, I love GLPs. That's such a great brand, great blending house. Gaslight's one of my absolute favorites. I did make a pistachio blend, and I know Phil has had it. I believe I have some in your box, Patrick, if I recall. I have Zippo had it. He had some great videos. It's funny because Zippo said he never really pictured being in front of the camera much, but he had a natural knack for reviews. Talk about amazing reviews. Everything was relevant. He had new words put in at the right time. But unfortunately, he pulled videos. And Dan Lopez had a great review of it too. And those two loved it. But and Dan said, and I love it because he said, he asked, or somebody asked, I think it was C&D, somebody to make pistachio that actually tastes like a bag of pistachios, and they couldn't do it. But I did. Let's see if we can get a happy dog face. And then cracked pepper, that is one of my early all-time favorite blends that I made, and that's amazing. Hmm. Okay. I'll look at my St. James. I think mine's darker, but it just could be the light and through the screen, it's always different compared to how it is in person. I'll double check at mine. It may just be the sugar getting carried away. There's a piece on the top right, you have those two pieces together. The left one, um, are those spots, are they, from your point of view, are they clearly mold? Because it looks just from the camera, because I know it's not, the picture is very good, but when I zoom in, it's not going to be perfect. Um, that's interesting. Yours was darker. It smells unnaturally sweet. Yeah, it doesn't, it's not, because I'm looking for, like you said, um, colonies or something. So this looks like a couple of possibilities. It looks like it dried out and maybe with the oxygen and the sugar already in it, and maybe the bacteria got to it. Maybe, but just glancing at it, it looks like it dried out, just from what I can tell, because I'm not there, but it almost looks like it just dried out and the sugars with the oxygen and stuff just changed. Because there's really only, yeah, that is strange. Because I know that some tobaccos can brown like that when they dry out. That's the vacuum sealed stuff. Okay. Well, I appreciate the picture. I will look at that tomorrow. Oh, I see. I, I didn't scroll down. I'm like, wait, I think he meant he sent another picture. Okay, yeah. So I see. Big difference. Yeah. Does it just kind of brush off? Because that's that's interesting. I know you're probably not thrilled. I'm not thrilled either, but it is a little bit fascinating because it's quite a difference. And they constantly have to mess with that. They always have to add pressure, so maybe some of it in the process got exposed to some bacteria. That would be my guess. Okay. If you want to, and I've got, if you want to, you can. If you want to save the money on sending it, I've got I still have some. That is crazy interesting though. Like it, it looks like I'm trying to think of what it's called. I've seen tobacco leaves that have done that. I've never seen any I've had. I've never seen Perique do that. Generally, it's like it dries and the sugar with the oxygen, I don't know what it is, but I have had some Virginias do that. Huh. Oh, yeah, now that you say that, I think you're right. I think you're right. That's why it's so important that they don't allow any in there. That sounds I was having this talk with somebody. And one thing I do with my jars, I don't know if you do, it works, and I like you said, you haven't had any happen before, so I think whatever you're doing is working. I take a drop of Dawn dish soap, just a normal blue Dawn dish soap, and I put 1 drop in each jar, and I do this to all my jars, and I put hot water in it till it's almost full, then I shake it up really good, and as I'm emptying the jar, I dump it in and all over the lid, and then I rinse, shake it, do it all again, clean it all off, really hot water, and then I dry it with a clean towel, and then I put, even after I've got it as dry as I can tell that it's totally dry, I'll put, a couple of paper towels in it and have the lid on it, but just cracked a little, and I really make sure I go around the rim of the inside of that jar lid, because they have those little bumps, and so I sterilize them basically. Um, Even if they look totally clean, I always do that, and I've never had mold. That is something. I would guess I would guess that the bacteria got on it. And you're saying, like you said, it happened in about a week. That seems likely with as moist and sugary as that is. That's so weird though. It's almost like it leaves you in that state where you're like, I think I could smoke it, but I don't know. And you don't want to throw it away unless you know you can't smoke it. Well, that was a dud. Yeah, that's crazy. I'll look at my stuff tomorrow before you send anything. I was very cautious with the Perique, but I was pretty careless with some Virginia and with Kentucky. I might have had that on a little bit of Virginia, actually, because there were a couple of leaves that had like 3 little spots. If it's good, can I reproduce it? That's funny. Can I just do it again and make it better? Have people like, how did he do this? This is like $100 jar worth of tobacco right here with how good this is. That makes, you know what? I know I had some of that happen in the Virginia actually, because I remember the strips, they were yellow, different shades of yellow. Or no, was it the Turkish? I'll have to double check. It was a Turkish or Virginia, and they did have some similarities. And I kept them natural aromatic. I kept them. I have the intention to use them. Yeah, because that's why that seems familiar. Because I think I was feeling them and going like this, and it was fine. Creamsicle dream looks cool, compared to the picture below. It doesn't look natural, but it apparently is a natural process. Yeah, I had some of that on one of mine, but it wasn't the Perique, and I think that's why I was like, "Kind of looks familiar, kind of doesn't." And I had one of those open for a long while. Maybe it was on the Kentucky, I don't even remember, but I'll open them up and look. I have them in the shop. I have them up on the background of one of my workbenches and jars. And I'll just open them and take a look, and I'll be able to tell you because excuse me, I marked on the jars, the labels, the dates, all that stuff. I want to say it was on a Turkish, and I just kept it. They almost look sort of like little barnacles, but they didn't look like mold. They just looked like dried spots. They've been in there for a while, so I mean, if they were bacteria, they're probably dead, being suffocated in that jar for this long. But I think it was on the Turkish. That's interesting, bud. I'll look tomorrow and let you know. The spots are colonies. Now I'm scared. They probably are, to be honest. And I was just careless. Well, shoot. Let's see. I feel like this right now. Please don't be, please, please don't be bacteria. Of course, the bacteria would be like, "Did you say bacteria?" Son of a gun. And then if it is bacteria, I'm gonna be like this. Ah! I missed that watermelon. That was amazing watermelon. I'm not too worried. I'll look at it. I'm sure it's on my Turkish though, because I know I had that open a while. Like probably a couple months where I like rolled it and left it. But I have smoked it. Actually, I did smoke some because I made a couple of blends trying it and I didn't notice anything. That's true. So yeah, I have smoked it. I just remember seeing some in the jar. I don't know. I'll look at it and let you know. I can at least tell you what my stuff's doing since I haven't revisited it for so long. Dang. I could have been contaminated. It made good blends though. I did make some nice different Englishes with it. I just threw some St. James Perique, Latakia, and Turkishes together and then just tried it without the Turkish and or without the Perique, and they were good. I smoked them. Apparently I'm still here. Okay. Oh, I did want to ask you, with the shipping, and we can always, you don't have to answer here if you don't feel like it. I was just gonna ask, with the shipping, do you just want me to um find total and let you know? As far as the pipe goes? It got a dairy note. I'll eat. It's gonna be like some um really funky cheese. It's gonna be like Limburger. It's gonna be, like smell like doom, but then it's gonna be like, oh, this is actually really good. Have you ever seen? Okay, bud, sounds good. Um, have you ever seen the show Malcolm in the Middle? And there's that episode. I always want to say Stewie because I'm a fan of Family Guy. Dewey, and he's like, "Do we have any milk or something like that?" And she's like, he goes, "My cereal's dry." He goes, "Then put milk on it." He goes, "But the milk it has curd or it's yeah, the milk has lumps in it." And she's like, "Chew it then." That's a terrible show. I'm I end up I like once every 10 or 12 years I binge watch like Malcolm in the Middle, just other shows I never watch. That's cool that you're a firefighter, man. I respect you for that, or that you at least were, and I thank you for your service in that. That's no joke. I actually went to school for criminal justice, and then I went to school for nursing and did uh, CNA work for a while and did therapy aid work um, up until I got West Nile. And I got to work with people with Alzheimer's. We did work closely with fire departments and ambulances, of course, but we have wonderful firefighters and fire departments, different cities around us. Um, and I just have a lot of respect for them. One time we had a bale of hay. There was just this like quarter size bale, and I'm talking about the round ones, but it wasn't very big. And my dad said, "Yeah, it rotted. I should probably burn it." And it had snowed or rained or something, but we had stuff around. It wasn't going to catch anything on fire, and we lit it up. And in 5 minutes, we had volunteers there. And my dad said, "Damn it!" He said, "I always call them and let them know I'm going to burn something." And this one time, I didn't think it was going to burn like it did, and it didn't set any fires. We're very cautious. Fire can get out of hand no matter what, but we've always been extra prepared with fire. And so that year, my dad said, "Yeah, I got to send them a check." Because they didn't have to do that, and the volunteer guys should be paid. I mean, if they're a good worker, they should be paid because they're still doing the same risk. And we had great service. We did have a fire out here. It burnt 6 acres. Luckily, we had moved. This was years later. Luckily, we had moved hay bales. My dad just baled like 2 days before. He had a sprayer ready with 500 gallons or 1,500 gallons. He had everything ready and welded and a spark in the weeds. And it was particular in the middle of like a 12-year drought. And he said, "Damn it, the one time he's always maintained his stuff better than anybody I've ever known. And the one time that the sprayer wouldn't start was when he needed it. And all these weeds by our shop took off. They burned out the meadow, but it was actually really good because it killed finished off a lot of bad trees. It got rid of the mouse problem that was out of hand. We had a rabbit overpopulation, and that's sad, but it did help with that. And then we had green grass in our meadow again. So it was good, but it did cost us about $10,000 to $12,000 in damage. Oh yeah, bales just want to keep burning. But that bale, it was contained. They didn't have to put it out. They just saw the flames and showed up. So they weren't needed there. But they could have been in some other circumstance. And we've done ditch burns. We've burnt things hundreds of times and never had an issue, other than the 1 year in the middle of the drought. And I told my dad, it was scary because my wife and I are coming. We just bought all these groceries. And we just got off work, bought groceries. We're coming home. We see a fire. We're thinking, oh, that good old boy between our place and here, burning ditches again. Because they get big flames, but they're very good and have never had an accident either. And then we're thinking, oh, crap, it's coming from near the house. It did get 30 feet away from a big pile of trees we had just cut down the day before. That was about 10 feet from the house. So it got pretty scary. It burnt a corner support beam, part of the main frame of my dad's big shop, but I was able to put that out with some fire extinguishers. We had an old tractor surrounded by flame, and it melted the tire and sooted the rim. but that tractor should have exploded. The flames were under it and everything, and it never did. But most of the damage, just in tires, I think we were like $8,000 in damage. But of just on all sorts of old machinery. But I said, it could have been worse. We could have had the neighbor kids over playing in the meadow and gotten trapped. We had a dirt trail along, as well as dirt fields that had just been worked. So it couldn't jump anywhere. And I know with the winds that they can travel many, many yards. But it was the best unexpected fire to have. But it did take 3 nights and 4 days and 3 fire departments and lots of neighbors showing up, and myself and my dad all fighting that freaking fire. And we had a log, and we'd look out a window at night and you could see embers. So I'd get on the four-wheeler. We had a water tank on there, maybe 100 gallons, I don't know, that we used to spray not just weeds with chemicals. And whenever I saw an ember, I went over, like you said, with hay. Well, that's similar to weeds and stalks and stuff burning. And so you'd have them underneath burning in just above the dirt. So I'd go by and spray and put stuff out. And I fought fires for hours one night, 2 nights. Called them back because we had hollowed out trees. And from one angle, you could see between the bark, the trees were burning, but you could no way other than that tell. And this one mother effing log, no matter the angle underneath I got, no matter what, I soaked the heck out of that. It burned for a long time. But it did help. It got rid of trees that could have had bugs develop. Or illnesses. It did a lot of good, but it was just too bad that it happened. But I wasn't there. The bad thing about me not being there is I'm paranoid, and I would have made sure it couldn't have happened. I would have been there to help my dad and prevented it. It was good that I wasn't there because I can give my dad hell about it now. So it was all you. Oh, much worse, because we're all surrounded. We're all farmers. You only have about a road length, 30 feet or so between properties. If one field wouldn't have been dirt, if it would have made it across to the corral, it would have lit up that whole pasture because we had a lot of weeds at the time. It would have burnt the corral down, the shed we had out there. It would have burnt. We have this, what we call the Grand Canyon. We have this beautiful canyon that is now full of tumbleweeds. If that would have lit, it probably would have jumped the road because it's a narrower road, gone to our neighbor's hay. It could have been the whole countryside. And luckily it was not windy. Thank God. And I use that term carefully. Thank God. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, into the roots. I thought it said roofs. I didn't look close enough. Well, and embers are just amazing. You can have a tiny, tiny ember. Well, I know you know this. You can have a tiny ember just stay and stay and stay. One really neat thing, we had this really old manure spreader, this old narrow one, full of aluminum tubes. We used to do irrigation where you put your hand on it and do the hand pump and throw it out, and it would we would row irrigate. And we had collected all these tubes. My dad, when aluminum went up, he was going to sell them because we were done with them at that point. It melted them. I have to get it in my shop and show you. It made, I won't say the word on YouTube, but it made a very German symbol looking molten cast of a mouse nest. And that sucker is like that all melted aluminum of mouse tunnels that were underneath the manure spreader. I think I put it in my dad's garage. I don't think I left it out. That's unreal, man. That's crazy. But I do, and I've told people it's the same thing. You do get firefighters that, understandably are always under pressure. And same with police officers. And I've told them many times this. I've run into people can, depending on the moment, they or whatever they've been doing for through the week, maybe they're not getting a lot of sleep, of course. They people can be a-holes. I said, but I'd rather have an a-hole firefighter or police officer than no firefighters or police officers. Oh my goodness. Well, and I know too, root systems go a lot deeper than just the stump, the initial 4 or 5 foot stump. Roots go everywhere. So I could imagine if they're burning down along those roots and just keep, that's crazy. And you generally have oxygenated soil and oxygen absorbed into the roots as well. So I could perceive how they would burn. That's wild, man. Well, good on you for doing that. I did want to do more with criminal justice, and I had an opportunity to be with the state troopers, which is what I've always wanted to do. And then that's when there was a guy retiring, and I was going to take his spot, and that's when I got West Nile, and that just kind of shot that career down. But it's good. I mean, it tried to put our marriage to the test, and it didn't. My wife could have left. She could have said, I can't deal with your health problems. I mean, I settled with a hell of a woman because she's had times she's had to supervise me and watch me, help hold me up to take a shower, help hold me up to get dressed, go to the bathroom. I mean, total care. She's been through the seizures and all that crap. So now things are a bit calmer, and I'm like, hey, you're here, you're gonna reap the rewards. It may be a them problem. That's true. That's true. I recognize that. Oh, totally. Yeah, those two go hand in hand. I kind of had the feeling that you knew when I was talking about total care, that you knew the idea. But it was crazy, man. Like I went from in 4 months, I went from 170 pounds and muscular and fit to 70 pounds to weak and frail, could hardly walk without my legs shaking and collapsing or having to sit down. When it was progressing, I would get home from work and have to crawl. Just the strength to get back out of the car. I couldn't do the stairs, so I'd crawl up the porch. And I mean, she's done everything that I'm sure you can imagine. She's done everything that someone in that position would have to do. Everything. God bless her. And we have a lot of days we have neighbor kids come over. I mean, we haven't because the snow, they can't even get here. But but they'll come hang out, and if I'm on pipes, they'll give tips. Actually, Smarty Bob's pipe color, that red one, um, was chosen by the neighbor boy. I think this is the one. If I looked at the right picture, I might have clicked the wrong one. Yeah, that bottom one, that red was picked by him. And I said, he goes, "Can I make a pipe?" I said, I don't know how your dad would feel. And his dad's understanding. He's a good dude. And he knows when he's around, I'm not smoking him. He just knows I'm working with wood. I said, "No, but you can pick a color." So he did. He picked Smarty Bob's pipe color. And I liked that choice. I probably would have picked that one too. Do you and my mom was a nurse for over 50 years, so I understand. We've got nursing and teaching and veterans all over the family. Um, what was I going to ask you? I was going to ask about pipe color, but we can worry about that down the road. I'll just do one step at a time. I'll work on it more, and when it gets to a point close to where I'm doing the last ending and stuff, um, then I'll reach out to you and ask what you're thinking about. Oh yeah. Well, I had one guy I worked with in a grocery store when after I couldn't work and after I left nursing. He said, "Man, how are you always positive?" He said, "You are always positive." And he was going to leave for college. And he said, "I just don't know how you don't give up." And I said, "Well, I already know what, I said, you can't give up because we already know where that ends. I know the end of that story. You give up, it's over. So, but you just got to keep going because you never know what's around the corner." But yeah, I've seen a lot too. I've seen we had a neighbor lady of my parent-in-law's. Her mother came to a nursing facility I was working at, and I had seen her prior. Beautiful woman, light up the room with her smile, great booming personality, wonderful. And she was on 7 different meds that she didn't need to be on because she was on the wrong first med, and so they treated that and not her. They treated the side effects. And her face muscles were all quaking and she was shaking, and she said, that was the first thing she said. I said, "Oh, I remember you. How you doing?" And she said, she said, I promise this isn't how I normally am." That's all she could get to say because she knew she was all screwed up. Yeah, I understand, man. That's crazy. See, and what's interesting, so West Nile lowered my immune system, hence the poor timing. I blame autocorrect. They don't know what I'm really trying to say. Um, West Nile lowered my immune system to the point that the common cold um, became necrotizing fasciitis. There are 4 bacterium strains. I luckily got the one that affected skeletal muscle and not smooth muscle or skin tissue. Other than my stomach was thinning over a very large area, but it didn't make a hole, thank God. Um, but that was scary. I was drinking when I was doing treatment. They gave me these shots with boosters and all sorts of stuff in them, and they would help dissolve dead tissue if the medicine worked, and it did. And the only way to get it out without bereavement was, and they couldn't use barometric treatment like pressure chamber like you can with some, but they had me drinking about as much water as a body can take without drowning your cells every day. And I remember wearing leggings and sweatpants, and then heating pads, 2 on each leg, and then sweatpants and some other loose fitting pants over that, like exercise pants, sports pants. And I had to take hot baths all the time, and you would sweat out dead, dissolved tissue, but it took a long time. So it came very close to having where I wouldn't be really that recognizable to what I am now. But the weakness is insane. I've been left with chronic fatigue, and it's a lot better. But I notice like my best now, my absolute best is still maybe like an eighth of what my energy used to be. It's improved, but there's just limits. And so physically, so like a lot of my work is done in a couple hours. But yeah, that physical, when you just don't have that, you usually have that gumption, that oomph. Like, okay, I'm going to do this. And the problem with having epilepsy is you can go, okay, let's do this and have one burst of strength, maybe 2 a day, and you're about done for the day. Where maybe you're going to move something like a couch or something really heavy, and you're like, okay, let's do this now because I'm only going to have one shot. Let's make the plan and just do it all in one run while you can. And first you get done, and immediately my legs are weak and shaky. And I still do at-home therapy. But where it might take somebody 2 weeks to grow muscle, it might take me a year for my legs. And right after that rush of blood flow, it increases the temperature in your brain. And so a lot of times I can do that, and then I'll just kind of start staring. It's very hard to avoid a staring seizure just from moving like a couch and I don't know, like 2 heavy things. And I only have 1 couch now. So I would say moving the couch and like the bed one after the other, then I about fall down. And but considering I could be legless, I do not complain. And I've seen people go through, someone's always got it worse. and I'm not going to complain. Yeah, also, yeah, they refer to them also as absent seizures, blackout seizures. The shortest one I had, I think, was like 40 seconds. The longest one I had was 8.5 hours or something like that. Yeah, I understand that feeling completely, man. Completely. But it is getting late. I'm gonna head out. But I again, I greatly appreciate you. I appreciate how you are as a human being. It's nice to know there's another good man out there, someone that's trying to help people. I appreciate your services, all the help you've done. Because if you make a difference in one person's life, that's what it's about. And I have a feeling you've made a difference in a lot of people's lives. And I appreciate you commissioning a pipe, and I'm really excited to get to work on it more. I love it. If there were no commissions, I would just keep doing side projects. I'm kind of addicted to making pipes now, to be honest. But sounds good. You have a wonderful night. Patrick, great to see you. Thank you guys again for being here and for the support. Again, feel free to let people know, or if you got any pictures you want to show, I'm happy to show them because it's a fun feature and it's easy. Even I can do it. There you go. Oh shoot. Oh man, you guys have a great night, and I will catch you Tuesday. If I don't see you, have a very Merry Christmas. Be safe. And yeah, enjoy your families and whatever health you got, hold on to it. Take care, fellas.